Burnet, Texas?
Yeah, like up the road.
Dude, I didn't know you were that close to me. Okay, very
Yeah.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So how long have you been in Austin, Dripping Springs area?
I moved to Austin in 99 for a couple of years, left for a couple of years, came back in 02. So I've been in Austin for a while. We moved out to Dripping Springs in 15, I think.
Okay.
So been out here for actually it may have been 16. So yeah, going on 7 years now.
Okay. Where were you from originally?
I grew up in Shiner.
Oh, okay. All right.
So are you native Texan?
Yeah, it sounds familiar. Shiner. It's almost as if there's an alcoholic beverage from there.
This one here?
Yeah. Hey, yeah, it is almost 3. So
That's right. That's right.
Well, look, I want to be considerate of your time. I saw what you're doing on LinkedIn, and it's awesome. You're using video to engage with people. And what I wanted to find out is, how did you stumble on it? Why did you start doing it? And where else are you using video in your outreach?
Yeah. The LinkedIn thing is really just a factor of repurposing right now. And it's one of there's not a lot of information about video on LinkedIn. Like everybody talks about YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. There's not a lot about using it on LinkedIn. And it was one of those things where I said, okay, my avatar really is, middle-aged, call them 35, 40 plus year olds, professionals, because I'm, the market that I'm working in out here. And it always comes back to, well, where are they? Okay, well, they're on LinkedIn for the most part. Very, very few of them hang out on Facebook anymore. Even fewer are on Instagram, and none of them are on TikTok. So it doesn't do any good to target those places.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of the LinkedIn thing is very new for me. I originate all of my stuff on YouTube. Now I do. I got started with video probably in 2016. And I originally started out on YouTube, and it was very low quality. And I was just, kind of highlighting neighborhoods out here in Dripping Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And knew that I was doing something right, but didn't really know what it was. Got some coaching 3 years ago and shifted my focus a little bit more to Facebook. Made a calculated risk there, and it was good for me. But what I didn't realize is that the real benefit, what I was missing out on, was all on YouTube. So now I've kind of made the shift back to YouTube, because everything that I do is an educational type thing. Well, everything I do with my long form content is educational. So I'm originating it on YouTube, and then again, replatforming it over to Facebook and LinkedIn at this point.
And so look, don't take this personally, but I've bought a few homes in my life. Okay. And here's what I'll say. And the fact that you responded to some cold outreach on LinkedIn, I think answers this question for me. But here's a trend that I've noticed. Real estate agents, brokers don't answer phone calls. They don't respond to emails. I mean, I can't wrap my head around how do people whose job is to build a relationship with a person, like, to help guide them through the most expensive journey they will ever take, whether it's purchasing or selling, and they don't respond.
I don't get it. They don't respond to me. I mean, there's case in point. There's a commercial broker that I've been trying to get in contact with to take a client to see a commercial property this property's been for lease for at least 4 years. And I've been trying to take a client to see this property for about 5 months now, since February. And I can't get a call back. I can't get an email. I can't set an appointment to go show this property. All I can say is there's a low barrier to entry for real estate. Very low barrier to entry.
So with my preamble there and your confirmation, has your use of videos positively impacted
Oh,
your potential customers?
absolutely. Absolutely. It goes, man. I mean, I don't even know where to start. You know, I told you I started on YouTube a while back, and what I wasn't, like I said, I knew I was onto something. I didn't quite know what it was, and when I was producing videos, producing is a term I use lightly for back then. When I was putting out videos, and I would have 400 views on a video, and those videos were producing a minimum of 2 inbound calls from buyers a year for each of those videos. I would say that people out of market, which is a big part of our Austin market, right? People coming from out of state, out of town, you know, those reload buyers, uh, talk about producing valuable content, and it's verifiable by just looking at the number of inbound calls I was getting. So you know, you can take it from that perspective on, you know, obviously there's people that need education on the area, things to do, things to see, what, you know, different neighborhoods and all that other stuff. But it's the thing that I'm getting better at is it's taking my my lead follow up kind of to the next level. And I've got a couple of agents that are working with me right now. And one of the things that I'm trying to get them to do is, look, when you've got a lead that comes in, the chances of a lead, you know, hey, this is, you know, Chris Pesek Properties, and you know, you signed up on my website, just reaching out to see, you know, if I can help you. If that's a voicemail, that's fine. You're going to leave the voicemail. You might get them on the phone. You're going to send them a text or whatever, and you're going to continue to follow up. But what I'm doing is taking custom videos where I'm, you know, I'm reaching out to them. So, you know, Bomb, Vimeo, that stuff, the stuff that you can see the little video in the email,
Mm-hmm.
you know, reaching out to them and, hey, Doug, you know, this is Chris. I just wanted to let you know that there's an actual face behind this website. I live in Dripping Springs, which is just outside of Austin. You know, I saw that you reached out and signed up on the website, and you're taking a look at houses and you know, the customization and reaching out to the leads. Just, I mean, it's at least tripled the number of people that I can talk to. I mean, I can verify that just in terms of before I started doing it versus now. Now, when I make that second phone call or that third phone call, or I keep them in my workflow, you know, my CRM, and I'm dripping out to them, I'm getting more inbound calls and texts as a result, because they're actually saying, look, this isn't somebody that's in, you know, the Philippines. I'm not a VA. I'm not a bot, you know, because everybody's doing that. I mean, from Zillow down to Joe Schmo down the road, everybody's got, I mean, I've got bots on my website. But when people get a reach out that is tailored to them using their name, talking about the market that they're looking in, they're like, oh crap, this guy's doing something that nobody else is doing. Again, the agents that are not picking up the phone, not returning emails, you know, oh, and I get this all the time. Oh, you know, I send them the email and they'll call a couple of weeks later. Oh, you picked up the phone. What do you expect me to do? I mean, I asked you to call me. You called me. I picked up the phone. I don't know what to tell you. So
That's awesome to hear, man. Kudos to you, because I think, you know, the people that are adopting personalized video in their cold outreach in response to warm leads, those are the people that are truly tip of the spear. Let me ask you this: Are you using anything like this in your cold or in your warm outreach?
like this.
Yeah, there you are.
I
Well
said
done.
and people that know, they know that little clip comes up, but they're just seeing a little bobbing head, or they're seeing their name on, hey, Roger, and then you put it down. Hey, Roger.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's and you know, the funny thing is about it now, and a lot of agents don't. I mean, well, and it's people in general. It doesn't matter what field you're in. People are scared to do this. They're scared to put themselves on video, and they don't, because all this information's out there. I mean, man, I learned this trick. That was one of the first things I learned in the coaching course that I took, that I started over 3 years ago now. And the information's there, but you mentioned tip of the spear. I guess because people are finally starting to get a little bit more comfortable, or else they're realizing that it's something that they need to do if they want to stand out. But the information's out there. I just think people are resistant to change. Like they don't want to. I don't know. They don't want to reach out to people. They don't want people to be able to see their face, and they don't want people to be able to see all the crap that they've got behind them in their office because, oh no, it's not perfectly clean. And that this is me. This is the realtor you're going to talk to. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna blow smoke anywhere.
Sure.
This is I'm a real person. So,
And I think, tell me if you've ever heard this. I feel like I already know you, Chris.
people at first conversations, they're asking about my dog. They're asking about my wife. They're asking when I'm going back to Colorado. Am I buying any more short-term rentals anytime soon?
Yeah.
It just, they know exactly who. Well, if you're authentic, they know exactly who you are. And if you're inauthentic, they know exactly who you're not, and that's their realtor. They're not going to work. If they don't trust you, they're not calling you.
No, exactly. Well, and the good thing is most realtors probably aren't calling them back anyway, so they've weeded themselves out, right? Self-selection. And you bring up a really good point. One of the biggest misconceptions I think people have about the use of personalized video is exactly the point that you made. They're scared of being on camera. But
Yeah,
let me ask you this. If you got a call in 2 minutes or in the middle of this, and let's just say, we'll throw it out there, Elon Musk calls you and says, hey man, I've got some property I want to sell and some other places that I want to buy. Chris, I know you know Dripping Springs. Can you show me stuff? Now, ignoring the fact that it is Elon Musk, you're going to, regardless of what you're wearing, if he says, I need to meet you in 4 minutes, and you know that it's going to take you 4.5 minutes to get there driving by, standard laws of highway safety, you're running out the door. There's going to be a Chris-shaped hole in the side of your house.
that's right. That's right.
In that situation, and I think a lot of people in sales, that they would do the same thing. They're not showing up wearing a bag over their head.
No.
And a voice altering look, no one sounds good when they hear themselves recorded, and no one looks good.
Ever. You'll never look the way you want to look. You'll never sound the way you want to sound. But what you just said is, when you meet that person in person, they're going to see you just like you are. You're going to sound just like you sound. So why not give them a head start knowing who you are? That's it. You nailed it. I mean, that's exactly right. You are never going to be happy with the way you look and sound, ever. Nobody is.
Yep. Maybe after, I think that's why, all these AI filters, because there's no AI filter for life. Like it just doesn't, but to that point, the ability to get somebody to be familiar with who you are and be authentic, the people that adopt, using personalized videos, I think are the people that are going to be around in 10 years. They're going to be around in 15 years. And look, maybe it's holograms by that point, or it's something crazy that we've never thought of. Elon Musk is probably already working on it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But, look, email isn't dead, right? Email is certainly, it serves a purpose and it's there, but email is boring. And personalized videos, man, it's where it's at.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And it's gotten to the point now where, email, it's pretty easy to filter email. And Google does a heck of a job trying to keep people like me from getting in contact with people. But you go back to a tool, call it BombBomb. You can do the exact same video, and you can text it to them on their phone. Their phone is a lot worse at filtering direct contact. Personalized text messages, and I'm not talking, script or text. I'm talking personalized video. That doesn't get caught up in a spam filter very often.
Do you know why?
I don't actually.
So I've done this. I have an Android phone, right?
Yep.
And if I send you a photo, let's assume you have Apple, and I send you a picture, it will look like I took it through an aquarium or like with a potato.
Yep.
But when you upload it either through Vidyard or Loom or BombBomb, it converts it using your native high quality camera that you're walking around with in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
It converts it to something called an iframe, and then it slips it right through spam filters.
Oh, that makes complete sense. I didn't know that, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So, the fact that you're able to get to your target without it being triggered as spam,
Yeah.
and it's super high quality, yeah, it's really, I met, so if you're familiar with BombBomb, I've had a number of conversations with Ethan Butte,
Yeah.
the author of that book. That guy, he will forget more. Well, no, I will forget. Well, you know what I mean. He's really smart.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He understands the personalized video game. And the crazy thing is, he's been at it for a decade.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
That's
I really appreciate you taking time. I don't want to take up too much of it.
I'm good. I don't know how long you usually run these things. I mean, I trust me, when you're in it like this and like you are, it's an easy conversation to have, and I'm more than happy to go down any rabbit hole you want on this. It really is no waste of my time.
Sure. So I mean, what have you found to be the greatest? So speaking to personalized video in real estate, what have you found? And I guess without giving away your secret sauce, what's been, the most valuable tip that you could share with someone?
And it's not, like I said, all the information's out there. It's just whether or not people act on it, and people don't act on it. And this is actually something I don't do as much as I used to. When I was really focused on Facebook, this is most people, a lot more than you would think. I would say probably 95%. Facebook tells you everybody's birthday. It tells you everybody's anniversary. You can go on and you can see all this stuff. So going back to the personalized information is, for me in real estate, it's not trying to sell somebody real estate. If you're in a different type of sales and that's the game, okay, that's different. But if you're in a type of game that's more of a relationship-based game like real estate, okay, Doug, you live in the outer reaches of Austin. You're probably really happy where you are. You may not buy another house for 7 years, maybe more. Okay. You're not thinking about real estate. You don't give a damn about a house or a piece of land or anything else. But if I popped up on your LinkedIn feed, direct message, or in Facebook, direct message, and there's a video of me going, "Hey, Doug, man, I saw it's your birthday. Happy birthday. I hope you have an amazing day. And if I know a little bit something about you, man, I hope you get a chance to run out and grab a 6-pack of Shiner beer, maybe a nice steak tonight. Let me know how that birthday went tomorrow." That's it. 15, 20-second reach out where you're like, you know what? I don't really know this guy aside from the fact that I see him on LinkedIn or whatever, but this dude took the time out of his day to wish me a happy birthday. Half of my friends didn't even do that. Hell, my kids ran out the door this morning and they didn't wish me a happy birthday. Like, okay, that's cool. And all you're trying to do is plant a little kernel in somebody's head. Like, hey, this guy's actually involved and he's interested. Again, if I call him, he's probably going to call me back at some point,
Sure.
because he's interested enough to actually reach out. That's a pretty big nugget. And I don't know. And as I say it, I'm like, man, I haven't done that in probably about a month because I've kind of shifted over to YouTube more. But I need to keep that going because all the responses were like, man, that's awesome. I appreciate the wishes. And, I think one time somebody's like, why are you spamming me on my birthday? Okay, whatever. Delete. You're not my person. You're not my person. So delete. I didn't want to do business with you anyway.
Sure. So let me ask you this as a realtor. I'm sorry, and correct me. Do I refer to you as a realtor, as a broker, as a?
I'm a broker. It's confusing. I'm a broker, but technically I'm a broker associate, and I can be referred to as a realtor. Whatever.
Do I genuflect when I see you in person?
Kiss the ring.
Yeah. So what is, as a realtor, a broker associate, what is the greatest challenge that your industry is facing, especially here in the Austin area?
You want the PC answer or the real answer?
No, real answer. Let's be.
No, I know that was tongue in cheek. one of the major issues, and this is sorting itself out right now. I don't know when this information will come out, but I'll just say we're mid-July right now, 2023. This is sorting itself out to a point because our market has slowed down substantially. I mentioned earlier there's a low barrier to entry for real estate, and I don't think it's any different from any other industry where you've got a majority of the people that really don't know what they're doing. They don't understand real estate. They don't understand housing. They don't understand land. They don't understand Texas laws. They don't understand anything about it. And they're putting clients' money at risk. And so and then not only that, not only are they putting client money at risk, they're also, because they don't really know, they think their only value add is to reduce commissions. And so, it puts pressure on other agents that, and they can be new agents 1-2 years in the business. And if they know what they're doing, if they're getting pressure put on them to reduce commissions, okay, well, now we're having pressure put on new agents that could actually end up being really, really good. And it could end up driving them out of business. So I think the biggest issue that we've got is too low of a barrier to entry. Agents that would rather, that don't really have a value add. So they just think, okay, I'm going to do a 1% commission because I've got to make some money right now. But because the market's gotten more difficult, I forget what the last stat was, but I think since the beginning of this year, we've had something like 60,000 agents in the U.S. not renew their licenses. Wow. So some of that's going away right now.
Sure. Well, and I've got to imagine, obviously, interest rates are playing a big factor and a big role in this. You touched on a really interesting point you said about value add, right?
Yeah.
So historically, my career has been in medical device sales. And man, you want to talk about hitting the easy button? Like, you're selling a product that looks like everybody else's product. And what a lot of reps end up doing is just discount. What number, you tell me what it needs to be and I'll hit that price.
That's right.
Because I need to make a number. And the sad thing is, like, it's crazy to think that even in real estate, where let's be honest, as an agent, if you're making 3% and you cut that down to 1%, you're cutting 2/3 of your potential income. You're throwing out the door instead of maybe putting in a little effort and then adding value like you do with your educational videos that you put out. And, like you said, for people relocating here to the Austin area, they don't know. When we moved here from New England, we did not know where to live. Like, what, I don't know. Like, is that a good area? Am I going to get stabbed?
Right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. We just didn't know. We've been here for just about a decade now.
Okay.
But, luckily we had an agent that was willing to show us different areas so that we could figure out where we liked and what would work for us.
Right.
But, she put in the extra work, but that was 10 years ago. Now, with you educating people about different neighborhoods, different areas, hey, look at all the things you can do over here. That's worth an extra 2% to be able to educate people who may not be able to fly here every couple of weeks to check out new houses.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the other thing that I want to make sure that people understand is, look, I'm not unique in the Austin market. I mean, I can name off 3 other agents right now who are doing way more than I am in this field. But it goes back to adding value and what can you bring to the table. And the other thing about it is, I've had people ask me before, well, why are you doing this? Jeremy Frost is an agent here and he is amazing. And we do really similar things. They're like, Jeremy's doing this. Why are you doing it too? And I'm like, well, Jeremy and I are 2 very different people. He's a younger guy. He speaks to a different demographic. That's not my audience. My audience is me. My audience wants to see me drink a beer on video. My audience wants to hear me talk about, because of my experience. I used to be a teacher, so my audience wants to hear me talk about the education system here and what that means. Where if I'm a tech person and I'm going to work in Tech Ridge, or I'm going to end up working out at the new Samsung factory, where are those types of people moving? Why are they moving there? And is it a reasonable commute? Okay, so I can speak honestly and openly and knowledgeably about the school systems. I can give them references to great schools, and for school grading and things like that. But also then you have the experience of saying, look, I've had 4 clients that have moved out to Great Hills because it's close enough to Tech Ridge that they can work, they can commute to work, but also it's in Westwood High School school tract. And that's where they want their kids going, because historically, and if you look at grade schools, it rates very highly in science and math. And that's what is important to people in tech. Um, eh, okay, well, Jeremy doesn't quite take that avenue. His focus is a little bit different. So it doesn't matter if 50 other agents are doing the exact same thing that I am. I'm taking a little bit different angle. I'm talking to a little bit different avatar. And it's the idea that there are a finite number of people moving here that need realtors, but that finite number is not small. I mean, it's a lot of people. There's a lot of business out there, not just in real estate. I mean, you can go to medical device sales, and it's the same thing. There's a lot of business out there. Speak to your people, speak to your knowledge on a specific topic, and you're good.
Look, the money to be made in any industry is always in the niche, right?
Oh yeah.
Look, I'm not a big fan of Lifetime Movie Network. Okay. But hey, someone is. Okay, fair enough. Every holiday I end up watching some Lifetime movies. All right. But that's because I'm with family.
Right.
But my point is, right, that you tailor your message to the audience that you want to work with. And, I'm sure for you probably enjoy working with, maybe a slightly more discerning buyer, somebody with a little more experience, and, for whatever reason, whatever it may be. I think I would imagine that probably helping somebody buy their first home has got to be just a very challenging task.
You know what? It is actually fun. I don't work with a ton of first time home buyers because, again, usually it's people that are fairly similar to you. We're into our second home now and starting to do investment properties. So it's the mindset. It's kind of the lens that I look at things through. So you attract that type of people. But you still get the referrals and things with first time home buyers, and it can be a little more interesting. We'll call it interesting, a little frustrating at times. But at the same time, man, you talk about fun, putting somebody in their first house and actually taking them through the process and explaining it to them. And then, man, they kind of look at each other at the closing table like, we just bought a house. We just bought a house in Austin. What are you talking about? So yeah, I don't work with a bunch of them, but man, it's fun. It's a different type of thing, but it's a lot of fun.
I remember buying my first house. It was in Rhode Island, and that was stressful. And I thought that was the most stressful thing that I could ever do until I built a house, and I realized I didn't sleep for like 13 months. I would just lay in bed at night, terrified. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, different seasons of life, man.
That's right.
Yeah. And then that was the scariest thing you ever did until, I don't know, the next one would be buying investment property. That's that next scariest thing. So
yeah, we'll work up to that. My wife is still reeling from the building a home.
From the build.
So let me ask you this: with we got 3 minutes left here. I want to be considerate of your time. How can I further your mission? How can people get in touch with you? Is there any websites that you'd like me to add here?
Yeah, I mean, I just switched over to a new domain. It's austinrealestate512.com. That's easy. All my information is on there, contact information and stuff.
Austin Real Estate 502.
512.
I was going to say, yeah. What's 502? 512.com.
The old school area code. Yeah.
Yeah.
.com. Yeah. The realistic thing is, and this is what I mentioned a while ago, at any given time, very little of the population is looking to buy any type of real estate or sell any type of real estate. But it's just a matter of getting the word out that there's somebody out there that that actually takes a proactive approach and an educational approach. And you know, a lot of it's kind of interesting because I've had people reach out to me from my channel and go, man, I've lived in this neighborhood for 5 years. I had no idea about that brewery or that restaurant that you mentioned. And you know, we went there and it's amazing. So you know, there's always a little bit of that stuff in there too. It's not just, I try not to be a real estate channel, even though I'm a real estate channel. Again, it's educational in terms of, you know, things to do around Austin. What are you going to see, eat, drink, stuff like that. So yeah, just spreading the word of, you know, about the YouTube channel, which
And
is,
what is that YouTube channel?
it's live in Austin TX.
Live
Or you
in.
can just search my name on YouTube. Chris Pesek is easy as well. Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm going to make sure to add both of those here. I'm going to figure out how to do it. I'm still working through StreamYard, so I'll figure it out and I'll make it.
Oh, and by the way, talking about working on StreamYard, if anybody is really, really nervous and you can find a way to go live and do stuff like this, do it, because this will take you past all of your concerns probably in the first 2 or 3 weeks of going live. I've been using StreamYard now since the beginning of COVID, and it's awesome for getting over your fears. So there you go.
Awesome tips. Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate your time today.
You got it. Anything else you need, just let me know.
You got it. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
You as well. Thanks, Doug.
Bye-bye.
All right, are we off?
Yeah, I think here I'll end recording.